Hello, everyone. Good morning. I would like to say that it's really a pleasure being here today, and if you allow me, I would like to just share a small fact. I was raised during my first 18 years in a small farm in Brazil. However, my father always motivated me to seek knowledge and go see the world, and eventually I became an automation engineer as a career. And I'm always fascinated about technology and how they can improve our personal lives and also our professional lives. And today's presentation, this is what it's about. Is how we are using a combination of technologies in a architecture that is basically the Purdue model, meaning that we are integrating the cloud, edge, and the OT network to improve the way that we manage our PLC and our industrial systems. Just to give a little bit about myself, so currently I'm an OT security manager at Henkel. I have a responsibility over Americas, overseeing deployment of OT security projects and digitalization projects across about 30 factories. Most of them we have here in the US. And just to share a little bit about Henkel, because sometimes people know our products but don't know the company. So we are a company that is based with headquarters in Germany, Düsseldorf. It is a 22 billion sales organization with a global footprint. So we would have probably 150 factories across the world. And everything that we do with sustainability in mind. Just to share about our business units, we have consumer brands with some brands that you might have seen here in the market. And we have Adhesives Technologies, the organization that I work for. And we play a key role in developing adhesives that we apply everywhere. So your airplanes, our cell phones, everything would have one of our products. So I also believe that it's important that we mention that as part of our strategies to invest in digitalization. And we believe in innovation through cooperation, meaning that we invest in partnerships that we can enhance our operations. And that is what we have been doing since 2022 with the software-defined automation by implementing a cloud-based PLC management tool. To share the Henkel user stories, I believe that it's probably not only Henkel, but as an automation engineer, I can tell that our community, whatever we are developing machines, work on improving the control loops of our process, sometimes we face some challenges with some management tasks that we must do. For example, versioning. So we need to make sure that we keep track of our change. We need to document that in a proper way. Doing backups. It's also a task that if someone is at some point work as a PLC programmer, you know, like all those tasks usually you have to do like manually, take screenshots, or you have some limited tools that you can use. And those I could tell, like I have a best friend that he is a software developer, and whatever we talked about our jobs, it was like somehow embarrassing for me, like when I tell how I manage my version control and how he does, like using all the GitHub and everything that is available for the software developing industry. So it's kind of, at least we will see. Remote access. I believe that from an OT point of view, it has been always a challenge, finding the balance of letting our OEM, our vendors, to bring remote access to our facility. However, we want to have all the control over that, and our cybersecurity team is quite restrictive. So we were kind of limited in remote access. Some of the factors they would just not allow. And fourth, I would like to mention, this one is interesting, it's about the virtualization of the engineering stations that we have. So manage that for a big factory, we would have like different brands of PLCs, Rockwell, Siemens, up to 22, like we have a lot. So we have to manage like either probably 2 or 3 engineering stations, have laptops that we need to carry out just to connect to the machines. with different versions of the IDEs or the programming tools for the POC. So it's a kind of a management process that takes time. I would say 10% of a POC or automation engineer is just doing this management task that is important. However, they could be doing something else to create value to the organization. I will just skip this slide and just go with this more visual presentation of what we are doing. By deploying an architecture, as I mentioned, like following the Purdue model, like where you have your layers 1 to 5 with proper edge devices to secure in the IDMZ, in the MZ zone. Basically, we are implemented a automatic version control, so we can seamlessly record everything by using this tool. So we know who changed something, what, when, and why. And the why, I mean, we use in a combination of a factory agent, let's say, to also document our code. What I kind of liked this, just to share also a small story. The code documentation is something very important, and it's not so easy to keep everything well documented. I also faced a challenge, like when I was working as an automation engineer in the middle of the night, we were troubleshooting this machine, and I never worked with that machine before, and I had to look into the PLC code. And I need to be fast, so I look into the printed documentation and do, hey, let's see if maybe the vendor sent us a good documentation and they can speed my learning quickly. I can see what is it there. But when I look into the printed documentation, guess what? What was there was just a copy, like a print of the whole ladder with just add signs, and like it was not meaningful at all. So that is something that is also improving the way that we document it, and the way that if we have a legacy system that we need to work, right? So we can speed our learn about the machine and go directly either in a retrofit or just go troubleshooting. It's amazing. We have automated backups. So from a cybersecurity point of view, it's important that we protect, but it's also important that you have the ability to recover. So that fits very well into our strategy. We would have also browse-based engineering. Basically, we don't need to worry about anymore like carrying all those laptops, maintain another device to maintain and keep it patching and everything. So we just virtualized everything, brought our license to someplace else, to the cloud. And with a few clicks of mouse, we just need to select what project from what machine we want to open, and everything is, the application itself is taking care of processing all that information for us. Last but not least, remote access. In a combination with, of course, security environment with another security tools, right now we are able to define who is going to access, when, and for how long with a few clicks of mouse. So it brings a little bit more control over who is accessing our network. As benefits, so we increased a lot the way that we are managing our license. We are allowing trusted connections only, so we have more control of really who is accessing our network. And we have observed an increased growth in the productivity of our engineer. Imagining that, I mean, all these 4 days, I guess, we have been talking a lot about of challenge and how are we implementing these technologies and everything. However, we need the time of those automation engineers to make sure that they are implementing things for us, creating value, and doing things right to make sure that we guarantee security and operability. So that's why if, for example, I am a plant manager, I want, and I am in charge of a factory that is running 24/7, I want, whatever problem I face, I want my engineer to really focus on what creates value. It's important to have documentation, but if we can automate that, it's much better for us. We started in 2022. Basically, I would say our journey so far, we started small with our colleagues from HCB in a factory in Düsseldorf. It was quite a success, and eventually we are right now in the process of migrating globally, still performing proof of concepts because we have a different kind of the business operate, and every factory would be unique with the challenge of different vendors of PLCs. But we are currently in this process of rollout, and in fact, next Monday I'm coming to Cleveland because we want to onboard at least those of PLCs there so we can help our OT engineer there. Okay, so the reason that we have worked with SDA, so for us, is solving a different kind of problem, but in the end, they have a unique product that will support us, free the time of our engineers to do work to create value. And of course, with the customer first mindset, they were quite flexible in adjust to our security requirements, although we follow everything that is regarding standards. However, we still would make sure that we have secured by designing everything that we are deploying. And I would like to close this presentation saying that it's not a sprint, and this journey, this technology journey, either cloud, edge, and computing. So we must prepare for the long journey, for the long run. And we do believe that it's important that we give our automation engineers tools that will make their lives much better. And of course, that they deserve it. Thank you. Thank you for your time.